Hello and welcome to True Guidance Tarot. I'm Adriana Teodoro-Dier. I'm a spiritual medium and reader. I have got a message for Taurus today to let you know how this works. I've asked my guides in spirit to come through with a message that they'll put through the cards that will be meaningful for you. I am reading a collective energy, so the collective Taurus energy, though I have asked for some specificity, so you may find that I'm talking straight to you. If I'm not, though, because this is a spiritual reading, it will have a message for everyone who is watching it. So, if you are new to the channel, welcome, and I invite you and strongly encourage you to consider subscribing to this channel. It's really good for your spiritual path and beneficial for you to stay in constant contact every week with this information so that you're moving forward on your path. It's a bit of a strange reading today, Taurus, I have to tell you. Yeah, it's just a little odd, but I think we'll get to a good place. So the energy around you is the Two of Swords. So there's a lot of things that are not moving and you're not really sure what to think of that, what to make of it, or even what to do with it. So you're like, yeah, I get it, but okay, what do I do? So it's almost like you're perceiving that the energy just is kind of stuck or stopped. And there's really not much you can do about it except go inward, go inward and kind of take stock in what's in there. And that's pretty much how you respond with the High Priestess. So instead of getting discouraged by this Two of Swords here, you go in and you really try to find your own truth. You get in touch with your own intuition. I will say, though, that with the presence of these two cards, the movement you're going to see is going to be on the inside. It is not an external movement that we're talking about. This is an internal change, an internal shift that has to happen. And what we're trying to do is uncover a mystery. Sometimes that High Priestess stands for mysterious, kind of esoteric knowledge. So you've got this guy down on the ground. You've got her in the sky. And we're not sure why things aren't moving. We're not sure why we appear to be stuck. We're not sure why we can't figure out the correct way forward, but we know what we have to do is look deeper inside and get in touch with that intuition, with that sense that does know. So for those of you who do a meditative practice, there's extra time for that. This week there's extra call for that because your intuition is really going to want to get in touch with you. And I don't know if this is true for you, but for me, that's the easiest way for them to talk. It's either through tarot readings like I'm doing for you right now or through my intuition. I mean, through meditation. If I'm just kind of going to get the mail, it's not always present for me. So this is doing whatever you need to do to connect with that inner wisdom. Because that inner wisdom, I don't know if you'll be able to see this, there's a little owl down here holding the key. That inner wisdom is the key to unlocking this deadlock. So let's get a little bit practical because that's what we love to do, right, Taurus? So we've got the Nine of Pentacles off to one side, we've got the Temperance in the middle, and we've got the Seven of Cups right here. And just as I explained this to you, that changed the meaning for me. So before I did this video, I thought the cards were saying one thing, but they're saying something else. We're talking about trying to blend the earth and the water element together. And right now, you're so good at the earth element, the practicality, the money, the tangible things, everything that you can see, and knowing what it takes to make you feel good. So it's like you know what fabrics you need to wear to feel good, you know what you need to eat to feel good, you know what kind of situation you need to live in to feel good. That's known. But what's not known are the emotional choices you need to make. And so Temperance is alerting us to this. And I don't like to see this card, you know, as a fellow Taurus, this card always feels a bit ungrounded to me. And I don't like to feel ungrounded, and I know you don't either. And that's sometimes what emotions can do to us, is they can make us feel ungrounded and just kind of unsure of, you know, what's going on. A bull likes to have all 4 feet on the ground. A fish has no feet. And that's how it moves through the water because it's not tied to any one thing. So this is inviting you to look at a lot more emotional choices, a lot more emotional possibilities for what could be in your life in the future. So I have a feeling that in your manifesting and you're looking forward, you have planned out the physical reality, but you have not planned out or thought about or considered the emotional reality that you want to manifest. So the types of relationships you want to have, the overall emotion you want to experience most of the time, the kinds of intimacy that you want to develop, and how much of an involvement your psychic connection has in what you're trying to move forward. So actually, this is really a blessing. The fact that the energy is not moving forward for you is a blessing because you haven't figured all of it out yet. So what would happen is that if you were to manifest exactly what you've been asking for, you're going to get this, which is the Nine of Pentacles, which is lovely and beautiful and enjoyable, but it's not going to help you grow. It's only going to increase your comfort. And I'm saying all the words that Tauruses hate to hear. Sometimes discomfort helps you grow. And sometimes you have to do what's not known to make yourself really happy, actually. Sometimes it can be very boring to be so comfortable and to be locked in your routine, locked in the same old all the time. So this is giving you another dimension. It's inviting you to look at more emotional possibilities in the life that you want to be leading in front of you. So how do you want to feel? How do you want to interact in your relationships? How do you want to provide emotional support for yourself? Who's going to provide the emotional support for you? Who's going to provide it for other people? These kind of emotional questions. And really, are you doing something because you truly like it, because it's truly calling to you? Or are you doing it just because it's comfortable? And I know that we Tauruses try to do everything we can to stay as comfortable as possible all the time. But that doesn't mean we actually like what we're doing. It's so funny, you know? Like, does a bull really enjoy standing in the field chewing its cud? I don't know. They just do it because they have to and they're comfortable. But we get to choose an emotional attachment to things. Am I doing this because I love it? Am I doing this because it brings me joy? Or is it just part of my routine? If it's the latter, if it's just part of your routine, your soul's saying, well, drop it. We don't have time for that. We don't have room for that. We've got things we want to do. We've got to move forward. These cards suggest lightness to me, even though this one is stuck, whereas this is on the ground and she's trying to get to this castle. So it's kind of telling you, lighten up those burdens, lighten up so we can move forward, because there's so much that you're asking for that's pulling down the vibration of your intention because it's too heavy. So, okay, how are we doing? We're doing good. Okay, I don't want to make this a 3-hour-long video for you because we don't have time for that, right? So whenever we're looking at matter, at things, at objects, they're a denser energy. When we're looking at emotions or intuition, that's a very light energy. If we're talking about positive emotions, I'm not talking about the heavy sadness or regret, that's heavy. So the more stuff you have in your vibration, the more stuff you're trying to manifest, the heavier it is. And what your guides are asking you to do is just to focus on the feeling, which is a lighter energy, and the stuff that flows in will be in harmony with that lighter energy. It won't be this heavy, grounded, I can't come, gravitationist? That's not even a word. We just invented a word, Taurus. So this gravity-laden thing, and what does gravity do but pull you down? And when it's working well, it keeps us anchored, but it also keeps us from flying, right? And sometimes we just need to fly or we need to swim. The last thing you want to do in water is sink to the bottom, right? So this is about exploring that water element. And what's really good, Taurus, is that water and earth get along. They're actually very good for each other. So you already have that grounding. You already have that ability to keep things stable. Now let the water bring you the joy of flowing with different emotions, of discovering different aspects, of changing the things you'd like to experience and giving yourself permission to follow what you like rather than follow what you know. So I think that's a good place to leave our reading. As I mentioned before, I do one-on-one readings, and if you're feeling like you need one or you have a friend who might need one, I invite you to check out my website, trueguidancetarot.com. I do one-off readings, but I also offer longer support over a month or two with more consistent check-in if that's the kind of support you feel you need at this moment. So I'll look forward to seeing you next time, and yeah, have fun with the flow.